There we go. It's live. We are now live. Salute y'all. Y'all thought it would never happen. Salute to my guy Karceno the Great in the building, man. He's just telling me about a dream. I said, yo, forget that. Let's just go right into it, man. Let's go right into it. What's up, Cino? What's up, my man? How you
What's
doing?
Good, Lanskys?
I put the herb down because I'm respecting the interview. I want you to know that. I want you to know that. I want you to know. I don't want to be. I don't want to be all over the place. So you know. So what's up with you, you know?
Oh man, I'm good, man. I'm blessed to be here, man. Like I'm saying, I took a nap, man, and had the craziest dream ever, man. I'm like, this chick, I'm like, she was playing me like a fiddle, and I'm sitting there, I'm paying out money for tests, trying to go take her to see if the kid was mine, and she got another dude over there.
That was a nightmare. That was a nightmare.
Yeah, it was. Nightmare, you know? My boys is all watching me do this. They like, you finna go hang and chill with Shorty? I'm like, yeah, we finna go out. The game coming on. It was actually a football game coming on. Biggest game of the year.
Oh, so, you know, I know you don't play that. You don't play that with the game. I know that. I know that with the game. So continue.
I couldn't even stop myself, man. I'm like, why can't I stop myself? I'm like, I need to see paperwork. What's going on? What? Man, she had me in the bag, man. I'm like, maybe this is a sign from God, man.
Have you always been a storyteller though? Because it just seems like that's a natural gift you have, man. Like you just draw people in by the storytelling. Like you can, it's like you can see the stories. You can see the stories like as you explain it. And I think that's what's genuine about, you know, your channel and stuff like that. So are you like a natural storyteller or?
It's definitely a gift. I got that. I think I got it because I used to, in high school, I used to write poetry a lot. Okay. Back then, you know, there was no cell phones and stuff. You actually had to communicate with women. It was really difficult.
It was a different time.
Right. So I used to write poetry and stuff. So I used to do it. And they were like, you're so good. I'm like, I am? I'm like, I'm just really putting it down. Like, you smell like summer rain. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, man. Listen.
Yeah, they eat that stuff up. I'm like, man, this is all right. This is the angle here. But man, it just started taking a life of its own, man. And then when you experience a lot of this stuff and break it down in such detail, like every scenario that was going on in the story, and I'm like, man, we lived through some crazy stuff, man. That like it's by the grace of God I got out of these situations, like untouched.
Yeah, and I remember you told the story about the situation you had with the glove compartment. I don't want to say too much. But
oh yeah,
that was by the guy. Listen. I've been listening to Cino in the park benches since like 2014, 2015. Man, the truth behind the beefs, all that, man. I heard the stories, man. So how was it growing up in Chicago, though, man? How is it different now to how you grew up? I know the family structure is a little bit different now, you know. But what differences do you see?
Well, now it's a whole different ball game. Like since 92, 93, what happened was the OGs are gone. You know, that's the thing. The guys who used to check these younger guys out in the streets, that's gone. It's only a few of them around. And now the new guys who are OGs were never really OGs. They never really had that command or respect. And the other younger dudes is like, we don't know you. We ain't got to respect you. So a whole different respect era is out the window. So everybody's for self now. Now, before it was order. You know, everybody had a structure system. Like this whole thing out here, we doing something for a cause. You know, everybody had a situation they was doing, but they had a cause, a real cause. Like, man, we gonna fix our block up. We all a family. We're a team. That's all gone now. Everybody trying to get some Jordans, a car. They trying to be fly. You got one Blackstone teamed up with a opposite rival gang member. That's part of his crew. And then actually people going in, man, it is nuts. I'm like, I can make sense of it. It's like the Wild Wild West out here in Chicago. They know what's up, like the cops, because what they did is they shut down all the buildings, gave them guys checks, rose up the property value, gentrification, and sent all those people on their merry way. Where they was gonna go? They was gonna affect the suburbs, and they were gonna come out here. They raised the rent up, so even when people tried to buy back in, who had enough money, they wanted to get back in. They denied them their application to even get back in. It's like, why would you let them in and dudes gonna pay more?
Yeah,
I mean, they went from rent that was $28 a month to $800 a month, just like that. $25 a month they were paying to stay down there.
That's the same thing out here too. Like, I know you talk about Biggie and stuff, and you grew up on that. You go to Biggie's area, that's all gentrified now. You see, people walking their dogs late at night. You be like, this is Biggie neighborhood?
Jay-Z, baby. Huh? Thanks to Jay-Z.
Oh, listen, I got a game. I got some words. That's towards the end. I got a game. I'm gonna play with you. No homo for the first time. I'm gonna say some words, some people or some things. I'm gonna let you, whatever comes to mind first. But that's later on, man. But yeah, man. So during this quarantine, I see you're pushing out a lot of product, man. It's hard to keep up with. It's hard to keep up with you guys, man. It's hard to keep up with you guys. It is. Man, but it's motivation.
Yeah, now that they got me in here, no going out gambling, no going doing a lot of events. I like, you got me to just work and watch movies and chill in the crib. That I'm finna grind it out.
Did you see Parasite?
Parasite, the movie, yeah.
Could you please tell the African American community that they need to get out there, and just because the movie has subtitles, just put your phone down, put the blunt down, just watch the movie for a second, man. Like, I've been advertising for this movie, but the black community doesn't want to hear me on that.
It's some that actually watched it. It's just that, like, my boy, he get blazed, so he watch anything that's on the screen, and he gets deep into it. So he was all into the structure. Once he see something like that, this is the same thing that's happening here. And I'm, he started, so he definitely seen Parasite.
Have you?
Knowing him,
I wrote this question down for you specifically, because I know how you feel about, certain people with the drug use, because certain people overdo it. Did Cino ever in those Chicago streets ever hit a blunt back in the day? Tried it? Ever? Never?
Never. Only thing I ever smoked in my life was a stogie. And I didn't used to smoke it. I used to just light it and let it like flow out and take a picture. That was how we used to brag back in there before it was social media. We used to have those like the disposable cameras, those little $10. You pay $10 and you had to take it
to Kodak.
But we used to play basketball. That's how we used to brag. Whoever had we would just have a stogie in the picture. I'll be like, yeah, that's the picture I took after we whooped y'all on the court. I'll be sitting there. It's basically called the Suge Night. When you just sitting there. He's like, he pulling a Suge. Man, so it's a lot of pictures I got just like that with the stogie. And just having it lit.
The infamous one is the one with you with the button-up shirt. And you got the cigar. That's the one I always see you post on the pictures and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's the one. I'm trying to think who took that. I think probably one of my exes took that. But yeah, that's the one when I got that jacket on. That was New Year's. Okay. That was actually New Year's. I had just won like about $5-6 grand at the casino. They were mad as hell because I caught them on a sneak tip. I was playing blackjack. This was New Year's Eve, and I had it all planned. I'm like, they're going to let people get money tonight because it's New Year's Eve. They want people to go out and kick it and be happy. So I'm going to stick them right before for the New Year. So I was on the party, and I was at the casino, and I was playing blackjack, and I said, I see the roulette table. I got enough chips. So when they start spinning, before that wheel hit, I'm going to just start throwing stuff down. And sure enough, man, I went over there and put like $200, boom, boom, boom on numbers. Man, that thing hit. That was crazy.
It was a good night.
I knew she knew what was up. Because as soon as I put the money on the chip, she was like trying to stop me. But it's like she thought I was going to put some more on it. So she tried to stop me like, oh, hey. That's the no. I'm like, you ain't wave your hand.
Don't
wave your hand at all.
You don't tell me what to do. You don't tell me what to do.
And I'm like, you trying to stop me from putting money down because I'm finna hit. That's how I knew. Before that thing even know, I was like, I'm finna hit. Because she nervous as hell. She didn't even wave her hand like this. She nervous. Soon as that thing hit, and then when it hit, she was like, I know you about to leave, right? I'm like, now that you said that, yeah, I'm about to leave.
Yeah, I don't want to see that secret room, right, Cino? I don't want to see that secret room.
I'm thinking a casino. So I went back, and they was like, and the guy I could hear on the thing from the pit boss coming over, and they call those people floaters. He's like, we had a floater.
The floater.
She come over like, we had a floater. I'm like, a floater? That's what I was called? I'm like, damn, this a move?
Yeah.
Because I went back to my table and I took the top off, like, all right, I'm back. Let's play some blackjack. I was killing on blackjack. When I walked out with like about 5-6 G's when I was done. So I was like living like a king. I bought 2 big bottles of champagne. I'm like, I was looking like Diddy. I was like, I go to my boy crib, we kick it over there. After that, the night was over. After kicking it, I wake up. We had so many bottles of champagne and everything else. The 2 big bottles I paid for that was like about $400 a piece. I'm looking like taking these mugs back to the store. We ain't even opened it.
Yeah, exactly. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Got my money. I'm like, I'm taking these back and getting my money back.
They didn't give you a problem going through the door. You know, they always try to, you can't leave with that.
They was pissed off. They was pissed off I was taking it back.
Mm.
They was real pissed off. They was like, why are you bringing these back? What's wrong? I'm like, what's wrong? Do you see them open? Yeah, we had too many. So I didn't need them. The dude was mad as hell, like, sell it to him back. Give him his money back. I got my receipt. Run it back.
Listen, that's cool. That's cool. What's that? The Mace album, Double Up. You doubled up, my brother.
Right.
You doubled up, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? So, oh shit. See, I'm in the hood, man. My chair almost gave out on me. It's like though. we good. Screws loose in it. But yeah, man.
Right. You gotta keep it moving, man. I made like 2,000, 3,000 videos with a dog on the worst audio you probably heard in life with that fan blowing in the room.
Oh, bro. That was the best when you got a new setup, they were like, oh, I missed the fan.
Yeah, everybody missed that old fan blowing. I was watching some old video the other day, like, dang, this is what it sounded like.
I know the feeling, man. So, let me ask you a question real quick. I know you came in the game through boxing, the Boxing Socialist. You know what I'm saying? I know that's your thing. I used to watch Felix Trinidad with my grandfather Tyson. I saw the Evander Holyfield when I was young, like 8, 9 years old. So how did you transition, man, from Boxing Socialist to getting into this and all that? You know what I'm saying?
Just doing mostly this. It was, to me, boxing was it had changed. It's something I've been doing it for so long. Mm-hmm. Like people didn't notice it, but I was like, I've been on YouTube. Like when it first started, I was like one of the first people on YouTube. In 2005, I signed up for it when they didn't even sign with Google yet. And I was like, man, let me sign up for this thing. They said you can make videos. I signed up and didn't even post anything. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until like 2006 I made my first post. I was at a Floyd Mayweather fight. And boxing has been around with us for years because I've been knowing Floyd since he was like 16 years old. Okay. So Nate Jones from Chicago was on the 96 Olympic team with Floyd. And he was the best boxer we had. And he was the only one to ever bring a medal back here. He won the bronze in the heavyweight. Yeah, he won that bronze in the heavyweight that year. But him and Floyd, man, they became like buddies. And then I know Nate, so since then they was like, this little dude, like he crazy like me. And he started hanging out with him. Nate moved out there with him and stayed in Michigan. So I would see Floyd whenever he like would come back here and stuff, and that's how I was already watching boxing. My whole family was involved in that, and like loving Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and Trinidad. So when they positioned all the way into that, Floyd Mayweather, and once he became like the Floyd Mayweather, like when he was fighting, I think Baltimore or something, that's when I made my first YouTube video. I posted it when he had the ring entrance. And if you watch the HBO version, I'm standing there in a gray suit. As they bringing the camera out, I'm recording with my little camera up there on the top. I'm like, yeah, that's me right there. I'm sitting next to Andre Ward and all the other fighters. And Ward was injured as usual. He was always injured at that point. But that was my first YouTube video, and it was just boxing. And YouTube you can only post a 5-minute video back then. That was
I didn't know that.
Yep, all YouTube videos could be 5 minutes. That's it. So then they evolved to a new platform that if you were a journalist, you can expand to 15 minutes. So it was like some people could get 15 minutes, but that was like for a small crop that few. And people would go in there and change their settings and say they were media so that they could go to 15 minutes. So you can get blessed to do longer videos. And then I had so many in the bag, but I didn't know anything about copyright. So that got me flagged. I was flagged immediately. I was just recording stuff off TV. Like, look at this. See this game? Bro, I knew nothing about the game. I was like, give me strikes. 3 strikes, I'm out. I was living on 2 strikes for so long, man. And they finally gave me a third. I'm like, that first account, I was like, as much as I loved it and it was gold, I was like, man, I screwed that up. Then the second one, I was doing everything right. And the second one, for a long time, like for 3-4 years, and they didn't like a video I did. Just flagged it wrongly. I didn't know about challenging nothing. That was the thing.
It seems like since you're following his groove. So listening to you, from what I hear from your videos, that you've been having an issue with that with certain people you talk about. I don't want to say no names and nothing like that, but could you elaborate on that a little bit for us? I mean,
I'm gonna get to all of that.
Yeah.
So after this situation, this is where Blood Boxing came in. Blood came and told me, he said, I saw you got flagged for the same thing I did. And Blood Boxing said, this is what you do. All you got to do is challenge it. I'm like, challenge it? I ain't never challenged none of these or contested any of them. He was like, man, challenge it and you'll get your channel back. They ain't gonna, it's like, it was a fake anyway. They just threw it out there because they didn't like it. It was like Joe Kawasaki doing coke or something. So after they done that, that was my first time seeing like somebody outside really sabotage something that was going on, just illegally. They just didn't like it out there. So they were just trying to take it down. That was my first encounter with it. I didn't know nothing about this game. So when he showed me that, I ended up getting my page back. But back then, once they took that down, the very next day, I created Karceno4Life. And I said, I ain't losing this channel, no matter what. So I started from there. And then I eventually got that channel back later on. But I'm like, I'm on Karceno4Life. That's the focus. So I basically started right back over from zero for the third time. And I'm like, this is the last time. We're going to ride this out. And from that point on, it was just talking about everything we was going through in life. So it was like boxing most of the time. And I talked about some hip hop stories that involved the boxing game, because mostly that's how a lot of these stories I know came about. Because once you know Floyd and you go into all the big fights and you commentating, you hanging out with them at the after party, you meet everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, everybody's there. We knew Chris Brown, Bow Wow, all these people, the chicks they used to date, we all at the parties, all these little infights they had that people in the general public didn't know nothing about. A lot of this was stemming from just knowing these people. Yeah. And then what I started to see is that when YouTube started going to a whole new structure, when the government got involved, once they had the Google, like the 2016-17 year, that's when things started to change, and they got hit with regulations, and we got to watch what we're doing, and now we are pivoting. And once they start this pivot, I saw a structure towards it seemed to have a slight towards people of color more than anybody else in the game.
Facts,
But
I agree with that.
We kind of helped this, and this is why I was trying to tell people then, stop doing videos with guns in your hands, jumping around with guns and doing all that. I'm like, that's gonna come back to bite you in the end.
And it has for a lot of people.
Right, don't do that. I'm like, you can try to show off your text and all that. That's gonna come back to bite you. No, they can't do that. They would have came and got me by now. Like, stop it. Hey, that's on y'all. And it came back to bite a lot of people here because one guy got jammed up and he snitched on somebody, and it was on the news. They had a YouTube video of them on the news, and I said, yeah, they got you off stupidity. You're gonna get yourself caught up. So I start seeing the change in it, and then I start seeing things get flagged and go in a different direction, but not really. In boxing is so small, and the boxing community, nobody really cares enough. It's only as long as it's a big fight or something, that's when they really care. Like when I was talking about Mayweather and Pacquiao, that's when somebody would really care a little bit. Other than that,
Mayweather, McGregor, that's when they care.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So I had more beef with Dana White than anybody because he's just crazy, period. But once it changed into hip hop, and I'll tell you, the first time I really made a truth behind that was the Nas and Jay-Z. And the reason I ended up making that is because in Memphis, Bleak did an interview with DJ Vlad, and he sat there and said, Nas did this because of me. I said, Nas did this. He did Jay-Z because of you. I'm like, that ain't true. Like, what the hell is he talking about? And he just sitting there freestyling, snowballing some whole stuff that didn't mean anything, but he trying to make it into like this is a major thing. And I'm just listening to him like, Memphis Bleak is out of his mind. So I went in the comment section of the video. Everybody was talking about it. And I think it was probably either on Instagram or I think it was probably the YouTube page. But I went in the comment section and I put a comment in there because the guy said Jay-Z takeover was real and Ether was all lies. And I said, dude, what are you talking about? So I'm like, there's one of the most factual rap diss records out there. And I was like, that whole last verse, Jay was so disturbed by it because it was so blunt and direct with everything he said. So every line in the last verse of Ether, I broke down and I had the meaning to all of it after every line that he said. And I was like, listen, he said this is what he meant. He said this is what it meant. He said this what it meant. That whole post I did had about 2,000 likes. Yeah. That one little comment I put in there, and I was like, man, people really don't know what happened. And I said, man, I made a video. I just threw it out there. And it did all right for a little bit, and then it just took off. I mean, took off. Like, went straight to the ceiling. Everybody's like, man, this dude must have been there. He knows everything.
I'm gonna ask you that next. I see that in your comments a lot. So, but listen, when I first came across your page, I was still living. I was finished college. I was in my mom's house, bro. You already had like 50, 60 beef stories. I was going through all of them. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I would say is, I was annoying you. I said, yo, could you give us some Big L stories? Could you give us some Big L stories? You know, I used to hit you up all the time. I say, see though, get some Big L stories, man. But,
and you hopefully you know the reason why I don't do Big L too much.
I know. I put it together. I seen you did some stuff about what happened with the whole situation.
So that's some real street stuff more than it is hip hop. So. That had nothing to do with rap.
So listen, you do a lot. You do current events. I want to get to you about NBA YoungBoy in a second, in a little bit. But when Karceno was 12th grade, or the 22, 23, who was in your 20s? Who was the artist you was bumping, man? Because I know people think we know you like certain artists, you vibe with certain artists, but like who was Ceno bumping in his car? When he was working at the warehouse, in my
20s, my 20s was a beautiful era. That was like, we had Wu-Tang, like the Ghostface was out, Ray, And I was like 19, 20, you know, around that time. So I was young, but like it was mostly the Wu-Tang artists. I had a big 40-inch chain with a big Wu-Tang medallion on there. You will see the pictures like you see I got here.
I've seen it before.
Right. So man, it was Wu-Tang. We had Tribe, we had a variety of different things. So we listened to everything. So it was a beautiful time. Now everything all sounds the same, and it's like depressing because you like, man, everybody, even the artists you used to like, all right, he trying to make this song to resonate with the young people, and you can't be mad at him for throwing one of those tracks on there. But my God, I'm like, that ain't what you do.
It ain't a right to throw 7 of them things on there. You feel me?
Exactly. Like, look, one of them gonna hit. I'll be like,
let me ask you a question. Hip hop didn't used to be so friendly back then. You know, obviously, you know that. You know, people didn't do songs with each other. I've seen Fabulous say when he first came in the game, he wasn't really, you know, talking to people like that. How do you feel about everybody's also friendly now? And, you know, like, it's just like, you know, I know you know the difference from like back then, it would be like a rarity. Not say a rarity, but like it'll be something very special if 2 of your favorite artists from like 2 different cliques did something. Nowadays, it's just normal. So like, what would you say about that now? How the game changed?
The game is that the artist was good enough to stand on his own. You know, it wasn't a lot of features on people's albums. You know, like you ain't have like guest appearances. An artist would make a whole album by itself with like one song that would have a guest appearance on. And to have that, they call that like a compilation CD. You know, and people be like, dude, your album sound like a compilation, man. And that was like the most disrespectful thing you could say to an artist. Like, dog, your whole album is a compilation. And that's when they just have a whole bunch of artists on one album.
Compilation album. No, I remember those.
Right. Now every rap album sound like that. You got like, yo, my man's this and this. So it takes away from it, like when you see all of them get together. And actually, they were more friendlier back in the day. They didn't hang out 24/7, but they were always at the same events. Because back then, there was no big venues for raps. If you booked a rap show, you got everybody on one card. You paid $15, and you saw like Heavy D, Salt and Pepper, LL Cool J, Run DMC. You saw everybody, Eric B and Rakim. And even if they had beef with another rapper, they don't have to put that to the side because they don't have to do their show and get their money. There were no goofy fights backstage. Guys had to get paid. So that was about it because they was like, man, we ain't got a bunch of venues, you know, for hip hop. It wasn't like, you know, we can book here, we can book at the stadium. Stuff didn't exist.
It was up and coming. It was an underground thing. It was like an underground society. I understand what you're saying.
No business when it started. So then when it transformed into what it did now with Leor Cohen coming involved, getting involved in it, you start seeing more control with YouTube starting to shift as YouTube was going more to digital and streaming and they're working with the NBA.
Do you consider Leor Cohen? You know, this is an opinion question. Do you what Dame Dash says? Do you consider him a culture vulture, or is he just a businessman?
He's a businessman.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a businessman. He's seeing what actually pays and saying, this is where I can come in and make my money. He cornered the market. He did what they do in a business structure of a takeover. He'll go into a record company, be the manager or whatever, and train the guy under him to do what he do. Then put them in charge and say, okay, you run this, I'm gonna leave. And he go to another record company, work there, take one of his people with him, train them up, have them run, leave, go get 300 Entertainment, and train somebody else there, let them run it, and leave. Then they buy up all the small record companies. Now it's like Universal, Atlantic. It's only like 3 major like record labels out there. Everybody
like
else
CB networks, like CB
connected to all of it.
So it's like the TV network.
He did a great job of stripping the hip hop game down to what it is. And now that he's in YouTube, I knew what was going to happen. I said, uh oh.
And now the real can't be spoken. You get And that's why you get issues. I know I'm not gonna say it now, but that's why you get those issues. It makes sense.
Oh
It
yeah,
makes sense.
I'm like, dude, I got 180,000 subscribers, and I gotta sit there and fight just to like for people to get people who signed up. Like, dude, I got notifications. I hit the bell, ain't nothing happening. I'm like, I know it's just unrealistic. I'm like, dude, they don't want my videos to do no traffic no more. People are like, yo, you fell off. I'm like, I didn't fall off at all. I'm still making video. They ain't gonna let
that's the best, isn't it? When you jump in your beds and you go to your AMC theater and you watch a movie and they're saying you fell off while they're working, and it's just a beautiful thing. But Cino, there's a couple things I want to ask you, because I don't know. They said that can we only record for 40 minutes on here on the StreamYard? Is it only a 40-minute thing?
No, you can go for about 2 hours.
Okay, I was making sure, because it's my first time. Okay. I knew you had a relationship or some type of relationship with Nipsey. Is there anything you could tell us about that, about him, about how he was?
Academics did a video. Did a thing with him where it ticked him off, but he saw one of my videos before that interview ever happened. Yeah. When they had the failed interview that happened on Everyday Struggle. He saw one of the videos I did where I played like a record executive, and I was telling the artists or whatever, like what was going to happen to him and everything. Just come on and sign with me. He loved that video so much. He went on my Twitter and was like, yo, I want to work with you. Nipsey went on just on my regular Twitter and started following me and was like, yo, like DM me, I want to follow you and this and that. And I saw something that said Nipsey Hussle. I'm like, Nipsey Hussle reached out to me. I'm like, this ain't real. I'm thinking, that
it's surreal. That is true.
If somebody real, they find out my email address and they come in and they next thing you know, they got some middleman talking to me and to get to them. Then it's actually him on Twitter just hitting me up blind, just like off the impulse. Like, I'm on this guy's Twitter.
I'm here, Cino. I'm here. I supposed to go get my paper. I'm here. I'm listening. Stoner shit,
Stoner shit. Finally came out.
So he liked your work.
Yeah, he hit me up on Twitter, and then me and him talked, and he said, man, I like the video. He's like, I want to get up with you. Like, we're going to talk, like, in a little bit. And he's like, I think we could work together on something. I was like, all right, cool. Then he was like doing a press tour. Me and him started talking about like, because my buddy was trying to get signed. He's a rap artist in Atlanta. Okay. So, and he was working with Migos at the time and this and that. So he was like, yo, music, because he's like, I'm on my press tour for my album. And that's when he ended up going right into Everyday Struggle like the next day for that interview.
I think me and you know that story about when he went to Complex, but I don't want. Yeah, that's for us podcasters to know, because you know who I used to work for.
Yeah.
You know I know. So I don't want to cut you off, but continue.
Right.
Continue.
For the rest of the rap world, what Nip said was he felt like it was a setup. From what he discussed it with me, like he felt this was a setup. And when he went on the show, it was like they talk about his album for a little bit, and then they just be like, So I know you heard what's happening with 6ix9ine.
Yep, they wanted to talk about 6ix9ine. Yeah, he was not with it.
Right, because he see the setup. Like, dude, we here to promote my album. Like, I don't know nothing about that dude, because he answered their question. He was like, look, I don't know that dude, so I don't want to speak on his name, And he know how academics get down, because he see the kind of stuff that he do. And once he did this, it was like, it was so underhanded. Like he said, he came right back again with like another thing. Like, yeah, I know, but you know how it is. Like the people go against you, like with 6ix9ine, they kind of put you in there and they judge you. He was like, dude, why do you keep trying to bring this guy's name into our conversation? And he was like, he was mad. He's like, academics was kind of disturbed because like man, he know what I'm doing. Like he was some stupid dummy or something. Like, dude, like you ain't finna play me like that. You ain't finna use me to build up your artist. Because the next day I say, hey, I don't know something about him. Next thing you know, he got 6ix9ine making a diss record on me. and trying to like I'm supposed to play ball with this. So I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do fake beef, no fake stuff like that to try to boost him, and then it's supposed to help me too. No, I don't need that. That's what he's saying. I don't need that. I see what you're trying to do. He gonna twist my words. If I say anything about the situation, gonna twist it, then he gonna have his homie making videos on there talking about me in a certain way. And then next thing you know, we getting cases and shooting at each other and crazy stuff like that. So he's like, man, and then he's sitting back looking like he ain't did nothing. And he's like, they ain't gonna use me as the pawn.
It seems genuine because people who I never met Nip, but I know people who've been around him. The story sounds pretty accurate to me of his character, of the type of character he had. So, but you did know the story too at Complex, which was funny because that is a story that a lot of people don't know of what happened to Complex. But
so after the fact, and when that was over, because he said he was like, I'm gonna hit you up when this is over. So I hit him up after I saw the everyday struggle blowing up and all that, and I'm like, dude, like, man, I was like, he was hot. He was like, man, I'm gonna call you back in 5 minutes. He called back in 5 minutes, and he was like, you know what? I was already thinking, like, it was already on his mind what he wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And now it was clear what he wanted to do. He said, I'm going to create a podcast show. And he was thinking about putting some of the people that he saw on YouTube that he liked, my song. He wanted to work with him. He was like, we could probably get my song on there, get you on there, get some other people on there who actually know something, who actually can give some people some information about something that's meaningful and not just going ahead with all this, warring with each other. Right, all this nonsense. He's like, we going to put together a podcast like that. He's like, that's what I want to do. He knew that right then and there. He's like, being on that show, I said, nah. He didn't want to do radio really too much no more after that. He was disgusted with the whole, the way it was laid out, and like they don't know anything about the culture at all. Like the people there at Complex, they just had no respect, period. They was just, didn't like kids running the business. And he's like, they don't even know how dangerous what they playing with is. It's like fireworks, right? It's some little kids playing with fireworks, and they don't know when it's gonna blow. Mm-hmm. And right, they don't know. Things could have went a whole different direction. They have no idea what they was doing, and because of that, that's why he wanted to. He really was like, okay, I kind of had an idea, like toying with it. Now this is something I want to pursue. So, but he wanted to do, like he told me with the artist, he's like, right now, I'm focused on my artist right now and in my project. He's like, so right now we're not really signing somebody, but if I like your cousin or your friend or whatever, we check out the album. I'll try to find some opportunities for him because I got doors opening up right now. Things is just starting to take off for him. Mm-hmm. So, like, he was only gonna get bigger.
Going too early, definitely.
Right, but he loved my structure of the business. I was telling people to stay independent and this is what you need to do. The record labels are designed to take your money, period. The whole structure of it is for them to get rich. And you can work just enough to have some money. Hopefully you invest in something else, but you'll get a little bit of money. They're always going to make more. And the name of the game is get to that level where they're at so that you could be in control. But the contracts are always going to be structured that way because who in the world would just give away their publishings and earnings and everything else when you take all the risks? And that's what happened to the music business. The music business of hip hop was generically destroyed, and it seemed like it was purposely destroyed to fail. They kept signing artists that they were investing a lot of money in to make things disappear. They were like basically doing an Ozark movie. They was washing illegal money into legal money. The hood been doing that for years. So they want to break up that structure because the government can't lock up a bunch of these ex-cons. And this was the beauty of hip hop. Hip hop was creating jobs. Like people just see the rap artist. That rap artist will have a rap label that would employ 15 to 30 people. He had somebody who was making $45,000 to $55,000 a year. He had his homeboy that got out of jail and doing a crime, coming home to a job that's paying him $60,000 a year. He ain't got to do crime. He is a security guard, you know, and he making about $50,000, $60,000 a year. He can take care of his family. You got your relatives that came out of college with degrees in business. They had a platform. They had a job waiting for them. They didn't have to work for somebody else. They worked for somebody they know, just like how they were doing it. Rap was becoming, it was a multi-billion-dollar business at this point, and rappers was figuring that out. And you saw every rapper starting to open up their own little rap label and open up their little independent piece that they wanted in the business. That was dangerous to the record company, because that was and keeping people in the structure, not doing crimes. So if blacks are not doing crimes and they're into the business aspect of it, they're into the production aspect of it, and they are productive citizens, that's bad for the system. Then they whole thing is we need an economic prison. So when
they mess up the structure. That's right. What it is. Mm-hmm.
So they started to break that industry, break that whole little thing up by causing waves with each other, making and helping finance beats. And they would take certain artists and pay them tremendous amount and wouldn't take care of another artist. And it's just like spoiling one kid and don't do one for the other kid. Then the other kid becomes jealous of the next kid.
Yeah, jealousy. Jealousy breeds. Jealousy breeds.
Then people started feeling like the jealousy, the envy. They broke up a lot of crews and things of that nature, and they took who they wanted. They broke Rockefeller up, and it wasn't no real problems until they came in and broke it up and created the problems and split them up.
That was allegedly, you know, Damon said it was Leo. Now, you brought up the Rockefeller breakup. I'm ask you a question. You know, in New York, I'm in New York, the room is Jay was mad because Dame had made Cam a vice president or something like that. I mean, it's been, you've seen a couple documentaries or a couple interviews. Yeah. Like, you know, but I think, me personally, I think Jay was already out the door. Like, he was just like,
at that point, yeah, that was a shot at Jay, because Jay was leaving. Jay was trying to leave and wasn't dealing with Dame no more. So, like, a lot of the stuff Choke saying about that situation is definitely accurate. You know, when Jay was getting ready to leave, but the thing is that Jay was already moving to another beat of a drum from the beginning. After they did Reasonable Doubt, he was trying to get away and do his own thing anyway, because Dames and Biggs, even though Jay was a part owner, they own the masters. They own the masters to his songs, all of them. So he couldn't, if he left all the songs he made, they own the masters too. And Rock Nation, what they did at Rockefeller was the smartest thing anybody done. They didn't sign with Def Jam, they partnered with them. So Rockefeller was his own independent label inside of Def Jam. They partnered with them. They negotiated and took less money to do a partnership. But to get the re-up, they had to go through their contract. They signed to do so many albums. That's why
the re-up was around the Big Pimpin' time or Blueprint album time, like when they had the re-up.
Blueprint 2. They had just money. Blueprint ended the contract. That was the last one in their old contract. Mm-hmm. So that's why you saw an album every 6 months. Jay had an album every 6 months, and it wasn't even giving the record time to blow. That's why it was like an oversaturation of Jay-Z. So that when Ether hit, it was the perfect time. It was like the perfect bloom. Because everybody was sick of Jay-Z because he was out all the time. He was just out every time with another. It's like, man, another Jay-Z album? That's new. And then he was on movie soundtracks. Everywhere was Jay-Z. The Rock. They were everywhere for like so many summers. And like summer, winter. He have an album out. Like if you look at when Volume 3 came and when the Dynasty came, it's like a 6-month gap.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So it was like, dude, what are they doing? Like they sabotaging their own work. They could be making more money if they just focus here, but they were trying to get out of the contract. so that they can get that re-up. And the re-up was crazy. And once they did that, they basically was like, we're done, we're good. And once that, it was like they took a blow, Jay took a vacation, and went right then and there. Leor tried to get
is that the infamous trip?
This is before this is right before that infamous trip hit. This is right before the trip. The trip happened in between that. When they were doing the re-up, they tried to get Jay in the beginning to cut them off. They wanted Jay to cut them off during the re-up, and they was like, look, we'll give you Rockefeller. And he was like, nah. Jay turned it down. So, and he told Dane, and Dane was livid. And he shouldn't have told Dane. And that's why, you know, and when they did the re-up and got everything, they did the re-up, but he was salty that Leor tried to go behind his back and try to sell the company to Jay. And this was right before Blueprint 2. This is before all of that rollout. This is after Blueprint when they did the re-up deal. That had already happened. But Jay was already trying to leave Dane from the moment he blew up in Volume 2, but he was trying to go with Diddy. He was going to sign with Diddy. His name, Jay-Z, wasn't going to be Jay-Z no more. He was going to be Iceberg Slim. He was going with Biggie. He was already going down the Puffy road. And then Puffy produced the whole Volume 1 album. And that didn't work. It didn't
Could you break down the whole dynamic of that? Because a lot of, you know, they say who's the best MC, Jay-Z, Biggie, and Nas. I know you said Biggie and Nas, they were competitive. It was a competitive thing. But what was that whole, and Cam and all, what was that dynamic like? Let's say like 94 to like 90, I guess 93 to 94 hip hop, like when all these guys was coming up, and, you know, I knew they knew each other from certain neighborhoods or, you know, from what they did or whatever, but what was that dynamic like for people who really might not understand what that was like with these guys coming up at the same time and stuff like that?
Well, when they came up from the same time, it was different because you're going to meet somebody. It's like going to school. You know, you're going to see these dudes somewhere at some event. They ain't live in your neighborhood, but you're going to see them eventually through every walk of life. Like, you know, they love the same things you love. If there's a certain show, certain party, you're going to run into these dudes. So you might have relationships with these people or the people that's in their crew that know them because they all come from the hood. So they don't come from some rich place where everybody's doing well. They just like, oh, yeah, I know that guy, but I'm busy doing my own thing. No, if your man's is hot, your man's blowing up, and you from the hood and you ain't got nothing, you hanging on to him as much as possible. He might open some doors for you. So you there with him. So each one guy at that time had a guy with him, about at least 5, 6 real close dudes that rolled with him. And, you know, they was loyal to the soil. But back then, guys knew that we don't have nothing. There was no real big money in it, no real endorsement. So it was like John Doe. You trying to fight to make something happen, and you love what you do. You know, you love that people are like loving you, seeing you perform. That's what it was like. So for them coming up in the game, that's what, for all of those guys in there, that was what they felt like. They would see each other at every show they performed. It wasn't too many big, like we discussed earlier. So they were like, look, we on the same thing. We got this going. And then like they managers work together. They managers like, look, if we all sign up and get together, one promoter said, you know, we'll get this thing going for us in St. Louis. St. Louis, they want us out there. So we can get you signed up. And he was like, bet, man, we ain't got nothing scheduled. Hey, we finna do a song. And that's how rappers even start, you know, hooking up. And Salt and Pepper and Will Smith, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. You know, Will tried to date Pepper and all that stuff, and
she didn't want. She wanted Tretch. Right? She wanted Tretch, right? Or she dealt with allegedly. Yeah,
she ended up dating Tretch, but beforehand she was dating like dangerous men. You know, that's just what she was used to. So she had another guy before Tretch that, you know, dude was a very serious human being. You know, a street guy. You know, from the first day they met at the movie theater, you know what I'm saying? He met her at the show, just a regular hustler from the hood, and brought her there.
Regular degular.
We call her a regular. In his boy crib, and he looked it up like she kind of looked like Pepper from Salt and Pepper. Like You're like, girl, that chick you got look like Pepper. But in his boy mind, he laughing because his boy don't even know that's really up. And he's just like laughing because he's just in his mind, his boy convinced us there ain't no way in hell Pepper would be.
Talk about Pepper. You did a Kid and Play video, and I want to tell you, my man's one of my close friends. That's his family member. Play I'm not gonna say everything you said in the video, because I don't want get our shit messed up with the YouTube, but you were pretty spot on about Play, my brother. Because you know what I'm saying, like, because this is a question I want to ask you. Like, oh, I used to watch you. Why you listen to this guy? Was he there? How does he know? You explained it a little bit earlier. They have to go back in the interview, but I had friends, man, that used to argue with me. Yo, how does he know? How was he there? But I say, yo, bro, some of the stuff he be talking about, like, it's street law. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of stuff they just don't realize is that people knew, like back in the day, like Kid and Play used to come to Chicago. Michael Jordan and his kids was like this with Kid and Play. They were like the ABC,
Jazzy Jeff, Jordan, and then I think we had Jordan and then Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff and the Kid and Play. You know what picture I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Chicago. Yeah.
So they came and Mike brought them to his crib.
Oh, word? You got some Mike?
Brought them, man. You got a Mike on one of his kids' birthday.
Let me get the Mike and Kid and Play story, Karceno story, the truth behind with Lanskys real quick. I'll be honored. Let me hear what that was about, man. What was that about?
It's nothing really there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, nothing really happened there. It's just that they came out to do a birthday. Mike brought them out there. It was a party at the house. Michael Jordan house is about 10, 15 minutes from where I live. Mm-hmm. So right now today, it's still got the 23 on the gates and everything. He ain't lived there in years, but it's still there. But that's where, all the trophies, he won the 6th championship. And they had just won like maybe their first championship. And he had a party for one of his kids, and they had all these people there, man. And they brought in Kid and Play, and they performed for the kids and stayed and kicked it. It was just a nice time. It wasn't nothing really super interesting that happened there that day. So it was just the fact that they were there, and then they went on like basically a tour of Chicago from the radio stations everywhere. But as far as Play's behavior, we known about him. He was a wild dude. My man was wild. He was actually before he did what he was doing, man. I'm glad he, everybody calm down when you get older. But he was out there wild, and he was enjoying success. He was enjoying that.
And damn, I just forgot what I was about to say. I have another question. Now, you are from Rashad. I know you. Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac. Yeah. I just want to show you something real quick, Cino. I'm a stoner, but I read. I want to show you something real quick.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't never scared.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I heard you talk about Bernie. I mean, I don't want to, but people say, oh, they talking about shit 20. It don't matter. Me and Cino have to give the history because he gave me the history, and I was born in '89, and he gave me the stories, and I'm continuing it. So if you don't want to hear the stories, get the hell out. It don't matter. I don't care about the views. I'm here talking to my man Cino. Y'all know how I give it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna talk to Cino about what I want to talk to Cino about. Y'all, when y'all get to the level to get Cino to do an interview with you, then send me the request and I'll watch the interview with y'all. How about that? But yeah, man. So Bernie, he used to work. I know in the book he talked about the factory. He used to work in the factory. I know you say he used to make jokes in there a lot. Is there anything else?
He work at Doc's Fish.
Yeah.
Doc's Fish with my Uncle Herb, man. My Uncle Herb watched that video too and hit me up. Was like, man, thanks for shouting me out, man. But my Uncle Herb is like, they call him, his first name Lamont. We all call him by his middle name, but everybody that worked with him call him by his first name, Lamont. Mm-hmm. So my Uncle Herb is the most funniest human being naturally that is. You always got that funny family member that could just crack.
Yeah, naturally funny. Just naturally.
That's him. So he working with Bernie. Him and Bernie are working, man, and Bernie and him going back cracking jokes. And that's why I said Bernie told him, like, man, you should come on the comedy circuit with me, man. I swear, man, you gonna make everybody laugh. And he was like, man, I just be in here talking about stuff. And he used to imitate the boss, Bernie. When the boss come in, and Bernie would make everybody in there drop dead laughing, man, because he was so good. He'd imitate the boss coming in and do him like he's like Bernie was so good at impressions. He's like, y'all don't know. Bernie is so good at impressions. He can impress.
Is that a Chicago thing? Because your Suge Knight impression, bro. I don't care.
That just came along. I just started doing that. Like I used to do it at my job. So I guess it just happened to come along because I did it with one of my bosses. I went, and she had a distinctive voice. Like no one could ever hit that note and do her voice like that. It was that weird of a voice, and I was able to do it. And I was like, I can believe I could. And I used to imitate her all the time because she wasn't a great boss. But there was a reason she wasn't a great boss. And I think I told that in the hood story. That was my buddy's mom's. And she got me she didn't even get me the job. Because I was like, went there so that she could get me the job. I was like, yeah, your mom's worked there? I was like, cool, I'm going to go and apply and see if I can get a job there. He didn't even want me to get the job, but he couldn't tell me that. And he didn't tell me what. I'm like, this is somebody I roll with, that I fed. You know, he ain't trying to help me get the job. I go there to the mom, and she was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to go ask him about the job. So I went there to, like, check up on my own. And then I talked to the guy who was the real boss, who was, like, in charge of everything. And he was like, she never told me nothing about it. But you want to fill out an application, here you go. So I filled it out right there and gave it to him. And then they called me. And she didn't know nothing about it. So her job was, she was just basically trying to sabotage me out of the job. And this is the reason why, Lansky. She was dating another woman at the job. And my boy didn't know. I mean, he knew. I guess he didn't know that I knew, but I already knew back in the day that his mom's a lesbian. And it's like, he thought like, I'm gonna find out his mama lesbian. I'm gonna tell everybody in the whole world, the whole crew, and have his business out there, like his mom's business out there. So he didn't want me to work there. And I'm like, dude, you did that. You trying to mess up my life over something you think I'm gonna do. And what was weird, somebody else did it. Somebody else did that. A chick that they used to mess with saw his mom in a supermarket with the chick and the other girl that worked there. So I was like, oh, your mom gay, you know. This wasn't when it was like the era it is now. This is back like when it wasn't cool. It wasn't accepted like that.
It was the norm. It wasn't the norm. It wasn't the norm. It wasn't normal.
Right, it wasn't normal. So then I would like imitate her voice all the time. But once that was like over with, we were cool. And me and her and all that. But I was like, dude, I already knew since like when I first met you guys. I knew right away.
Like,
I'm like,
to me,
when I hear a 300-pound black woman come through the door with a rose for your mama, I'm like, oh, that ain't normal.
Cino, you're in bad shape, Cino. You in bad shape, man. Listen, man. Like, it's just beautiful, bro. Just cause like I always listen to your shit, man, and it's just like it's so like to see you a genuine person, man. Cause especially dealing with this sometimes, like you know, you get an image of people, you see little clips and videos and shit. You're like, oh. But it's good to see that you really the way I pictured you telling your stories is the way this interaction will go. You know what I'm saying? And that's beautiful, man. Because, bro, that's what like that's what
that's what it's about. I'm like, man, the beautiful thing about it is that I met so many people in so many walks of life that ended up doing things in the business. Like I grew up around the corner from Kel Mitchell, the guy from Good Burger.
Oh, I'll tell you about that because I'm an idiot. Right. That's all that Good Burger. Now he's on all that now again, right? The new ones they have. He does appearances. Yeah, that's my era. Keenan and Cal.
Yeah, Keenan and Cal. And my cousin was in a rap group because my cousin really hung with him because they the same age. Yeah. So they grew up together, and they had a rap group called the Aftermath. And if you look up like on even on YouTube, they got a music video for the movie soundtrack, the Mystery Man soundtrack. And they got a music video for that. And that's my cousin in there, and Fred from his next door neighbor. Like, he's about 3 houses down, but that's still his neighbor. And they all lived around the corner from me. Okay. And he was the first person I seen really like blow up in the industry. Like from a little bitty kid, break down. I'm like, this kid used to break dance in the street. I used to see this kid and my cousin. I'm like, man, what's y'all doing?
It was a local act. It was a local act.
yeah. I mean, dude, he had on some big glasses. Like, dude, the glasses were like this big. He got on a duck bill. His head, had all the way down on his head, and he's breakdancing, and they got graffiti on the walls. And he's spinning on cardboard. He was just not. He had crazy footwork. They be like, yo, look at this kid footwork is sick. He had crazy footwork, and then he was like, yo, what's up, man? Yo, we want to battle? I'm like, battle? Man, I ain't gonna break dance in the middle of no street, man.
was on that.
Right. So next thing you know, this kid is like, he got auditioned for, like, he was always ambitious. His parents was ambitious and instilled in them, like, you could do anything, That was just something we heard, like, in the house. It's like, you can do anything. Now go to work.
Yeah.
So it was no reality.
Yeah. Did they used to tell y'all that you could be the president of America back then? Or no? Is that a newer thing?
Like, you could be a president, the vice president at your job. Now go get one. My family was blue collar. It was you gotta go to work.
I'm Haitian, man. I'm Haitian. My dad drives a taxi. My dad's a taxi driver. My mom just retired in December. She was a nurse, so I get it. Blue collar, I understand that. I get that.
Like in Living Color, boy, what you doing with this one job? I was the electrician, the plumber.
Do you have any? Do you have any Damon Wayans or Wayne's family? What happened to the Wayne's family, man? Like, I'm gonna tell you one thing before you even go in.
Yeah.
I don't think Marlon and Sean Wayans are funny. No offense. I think Keenan and Damon are funny. I think that Marlon and Sean got by because of.
Well, they did what they were supposed to do. Yeah, they kept it in the family.
Yeah,
and all of them are rich. That's the thing about it. They all rich.
Kim rich too? Is the sister rich too?
Huh?
Is the sister rich too? What's her name? Kim?
They rich. They took care of their sister. You don't see her that much, but she rich. All them rich. That's what the thing. They took care of each other. They stayed in there. They went to Cali because they remember when. Like dad would be like, we'll come home some nights, there wasn't no denim at all. We come in there and be like, he's like, you can put some extra toothpaste on your toothbrush tonight because they know you'll eat. So
I personally think, besides like, Eddie, shout out to Long Island, Roosevelt, that's around the corner from Uniondale where Buster's from. Casino, all that stuff already. I went to Uniondale High School, so I went to where these guys went to. Besides those guys, man, like, that's why I ask you these questions. People want to say, "Oh, why does Lansky want to know?" If you don't want to know, then don't watch the interview. You know what I'm saying? Don't watch it, man. These guys know, because I know people. What Sino says, it's coming like. It's like this. It's coming like this, bro.
That's why I got cool with Nick, because Nick Cannon got into Nickelodeon, and that's how I met him. And all the rap acts, Brian Robbins used to bring all the Def Jam artists basically over, or any rap artist that was hot. They was on the show. They was on all that. They had a rap session, and then rappers come out there and start performing. So we met everybody. And TLC, they were producers of the first show. They were the ones. They did the theme song and everything.
Cause it's all that.
Yeah, TLC. They were actually in the first episode too. They acted it, so they were heavily vested into the program. And Kel being young and getting into that world, man, I'm just glad he came out the way he did.
he definitely didn't end up like Gary Coleman or like these other child, actors, bro. Because
I mean, he could have easily went there, and for a while, I was like, no, it can't be, but he moved into a whole.
Let's say this, he went through the darkness to get through the light, man, and he's getting everything 10 times fold over, which is what's deserved to him, man. For real, Because, I know Keenan, SNL, I know how that shit goes, but competition and shit, how that all shit goes, but he's getting everything 10 times fold over, which is well deserved to him, bro. I can't wait to see him in movies, the Nickelodeon movies that are gonna come soon, or like whatever they're gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad that the crew's still back together, because when they all started, it was like Megan Good's sister, Megan was little, she was in there, Nick, Brandon, and you had the guy who played Sweetness, and he was in there. What's his name? Jonathan, or whatever. He was in the crew, and all of them was all friends, and like they stayed in their own bubble, and they all looked out for each other. Now that was in Hollywood. That happens, and that's how I learned the whole Hollywood game. I'm like, man, it's all, everybody is in their own little world, their own bubble. If you ain't in this group, you could even consort with these people. You could be in the same.
Before the quarantine, have you been to Cali lately? Before the quarantine,
I was there before the quarantine. Yeah,
I was there. Where the fuck did where did I go? Sorry, excuse me. February 24th to the 27th or something like that. I was out there. I don't know. You're from Chicago. I'm from New York. I just feel like people on the West are just in their own world. Like that's how I feel. Like,
well, yeah, it depends on what part of Cali you in. Like, if you in like,
I've been to San Diego, and I've been to El Cajon, and I've been to LA, and I've been in Van Nuys. So I've been, I'm not all over.
Dago is crazy. It depends on what part you in. Dago is like, that's more like East Coast than I didn't ever seen. Because they got some wild people there that's just, they from all over. And they in like LA, they don't even really consider that California. They just like, that's Dago.
Yeah. That's what they call it. I live in Dago. Actually Dago, LA's 2 hours, 3 hours away. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
And I stayed there too, but I was in the nice parts. I was in Rancho Bernardo. So I was down in Rancho.
The only nice thing I did when I went to San Diego, I went to Barona Casino.
Baroni's, the Kenny Rogers, rest in peace, Kenny. The Kenny Rogers Casino. I would go down to Temecula, drive all the way down to Chonga, baby. That was me, Chonga. I ain't never played with the Baronis. I ain't going to no local.
I'm not a gambler like you guys, man. I don't have enough money to throw around and gamble, but you know what I'm saying? One day.
I didn't even have enough at that time. I shouldn't have been gambling then, but I know I was determined to leave there with some money, man. I sat down, me and that dealer, I had $50 left. I was mad. I was like, man, I'm so mad he didn't sit there and took my money. I sat down there and just boom, 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 boom. Hitting me and that dealer, he was like, man, this ain't even designed for this. He got up, the next one sat down. I was like, y'all ain't, I'm finna hit all y'all.
You was like Joe Pesci in Casino when they were switching the dealers. He said he stole the car.
Right, take this and hit the muck. Man, I was taking double downs on like 13s and hitting. I'm like, man, they was like, dude, is like, what's going on with this guy? I'm like, I don't give a F mode about the $50. Yeah. So I turned that into like a stack. I turned that into a stack and left. And I took a picture that day, and that's when it was like near Christmas. And that was the last time I was there, man. And I was in like the chair, the Santa Claus chair, and I'm just sitting in there like it was a throne. And I was like, I got that photo somewhere, man. I was like, somebody took that picture, and I'm sitting in the Santa Claus chair. Yeah, I don't know where the hell Santa was, but I'm sitting in the chair and I'm just sitting there. And it was like, man, you was like sitting on the throne that day. I'm like, that day I actually won that day. But man, it's just so.
You live the life. You live the life of like 10 men, bro. And I just want to say this to him, man. I'm not stealing Nori's line, but in 20, 30 years, you were gonna be someone to me that we're gonna look at as we look at, like, you know, I used to work with Star. We'll look at you like that. I see you on that path, man, and it's amazing just that you're just genuine in what you're doing, man.
Yeah,
Like
I never
you
want
have
to be a
fun.
star. That's the thing, is like I could have been on that track, and I took myself off. Like people wanted to represent me and put me there when they started hearing all the truth behind the hip hop stories and all that. They wanted to take it and put me on put me on this pedestal to move me here and take me somewhere. I'm like, dude, somebody would have tried to take me out for free.
How do you feel? How do you
Just
feel?
cause
Do
I
do
need
you feel?
security 24/7, because I was like, I definitely wouldn't be going for it. And I was,
Do you
I was
feel?
like,
Do you feel?
go
Do
down.
you feel? Cino, do you feel honored, or do you feel it's a slap in your face? 'Cause I see the videos, people steal your titles, the truth behind, and sometimes I'll get confused too, and I'll be like, I'll see like, oh, the truth behind. This ain't Cino. How do you feel about that? With people like trying to steal your blueprint now and shit like?
It's insulting when it's done maliciously. If
Okay.
somebody just did it, just cause they ain't really got no intention, but you see people just blatantly copying you. You know what I'm saying? And it was some people that I was actually cool with that went behind my back to really do that. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like that, it's just what you see now in this industry.
Yeah,
And you see it more and more frequently.
it's the norm. It's the norm
Everybody
now.
like, oh, this is hot, let me do that. Oh, that's what's hot, let me do that. And I'm like, you can't. Somebody even tried to do a Rick James story. I'm like, for real?
Are you serious? Someone tried to
Yes.
do I didn't see that one. Someone tried to do a Rick James story?
Yes, they tried to do a Rick James
Wow.
story, and I'm like, I'm like, are they kidding? Oh my god, it was like blew my mind. I was like, it's really gotten to this point that it's this disrespectful and this ridiculous. Go on and do it, because now you're gonna play yourself out, because you can title it what you want. Once people see it, they know. They gonna know, like, this some bull crap. What is this?
This
I
is
mean,
the
like,
this is the Walmart version.
right, because
the,
I'm like, they doing it for hits and views. I doing it just to tell the story. So whatever it do is gonna do. And I was like, that's how I never got in this thing saying I'm gonna make money. I made money. I mean, I made videos for years before I even made a dime in YouTube. I didn't even monetize myself. Sean Craddock did that. The guy who I own Boxing Socialist with.
yeah, I know
Like,
I know Corny.
yeah, he should go ahead and monetize again. I'm like, man, I'll do it, man. I got tired of even asking about it. So that's when I did it, and I was happy I made $300 in a month. I'm like, man, I got $300 free. I'm gonna go blow that.
You're like me. I just went to my AdSense today. They had $200 for me. I said, oh shit, it's lit.
Right.
It's lit.
Right. You happy, you appreciative of that. You know what I'm saying? When I was more appreciative of the $200 now. I was like, then than I am now.
Yeah.
I'm like, shoot. I'm like, I'll be ready to knock somebody's head off.
You deserve. See, no, you deserve listen. You're a guy, bro. You have been doing this consistently. It's not, it's all Lansky. You know what they'll say in the comments? Look what Lansky did. He was just all over Cino. Yeah. Say in the you have to give respect where respect is due, bro. You put on for the game. People know who you are. They say, oh, how did Cino know what happened? You didn't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? You didn't know what happened.
No matter, even if you do a magic trick, the first question somebody gonna say is, how did you do that?
Yeah, how'd you do that?
It's just natural. It's a natural response. So I just take it with heed. I just glad they watched it and they appreciated it. So that's why I don't even let the comments like get to me like that at all. So I've heard it for so many years.
I'm doing an interview with Karceno real quick. I have to call you back. I have to call you back. Sorry, yeah. Bro, called me like 2 times. I told her I'm going on YouTube to do an interview. I was just on live on Instagram, 400 plus people in there, and I said, yo, I saw you said you was up, and I said, yeah, I'm about to go on and shit with Cino. She has to wait, man. I love her to death, but she has to wait. She gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? We chopping it up right now, but some other stuff on. Did you ever play? People did see play sports. Were you a sports guy in high school, middle school? Did you play any sports? What was your football, basketball?
I didn't. I was gonna play for the school, but refused because I played too hard. I played to win. I was like, I played in the neighborhoods, which was like the best, and football was my thing. Football, you couldn't stop me. I played defense, wide receiver, played quarterback at times, but we played like on the blocks, and those games was better than the high school football games because we had all the talented players. So when we go out there, I would dominate all of them. And then my boy, all them was on the team at our school, and they was like, "Dude, you should play. Tell the coach, come out to practice with us, man. You gotta play on the team." Everybody like, "Why won't you play on the team?" Because I'm like, I didn't want to tell them because I'm like, y'all part of the team, but y'all don't want to win. Dog, I know what y'all.
Y'all want the jersey on Fridays, and you want the jacket. That's what they wanted, right?
Right. They wanted. We had our school colors of sky blue and white, like the North Carolina colors. So they're going to get on the team and wear the jersey into lunchroom, And I'm like, man, dude ain't even played all year, man. He played one game, and now he didn't pull this injury thing, but he all in the lunchroom with the jersey like he finna play. I'm like, dude, you ain't playing. You just want to wear the jersey and didn't want to get off the team. I'm like,
yeah, didn't want to get dirty.
Right, to be coach, all he cared about was screwing all the girls at the school. So that's all the football coach cared about. He wanted to sleep with as many chicks at the school as he could. And I'm like, well, damn. Football coach is trying to bang everybody. And I'm like, we ain't y'all win the game, and they didn't win the game. And I'm like, I'm not finna go out there and do that. And the coach saw me one time because my boy, who's the kicker, wanted to be the quarterback. He wanted to audition. So I went out there and started catching passes for him. And he was like, look, I'm going to show him I got an arm. Go out there for a pass. Now I'm out there. He throwing the ball all crazy. I'm like, man, dog. He's like, I got to show him I got an arm. I'm like, dude, you trying to throw it to the moon. He look at me. He throwing the ball, man. I'm running down there making these catches. He walked right past him. He was like, yeah, that's good, son. He walked back. He was like, yeah, they told me, Ewing Jones, why don't you come out for the team? I see you got some, man, you can catch anything. Why don't you come out? I'm like, no, man. He was like, man, I want to be the quarterback. I'm like, no, he want to be the quarterback. I'm just catching the ball. I'm not finna play. No, get that. And then basketball, I was terrible. I'm like, we got beat by 2 girls. It was me against 2 girls, and we got destroyed. And I'm like, man, ever since then, I went and spent the summer with my cousins in Michigan, and they don't lose. The Davis boys, they run the courts.
Oh yeah,
so they don't lose. So they tried to teach me. They were like, you don't play ball? Well, we got to teach you because we don't lose, and we play ball every weekend. So we don't lose. So we can't have that. Can't have a family member out here that's gonna cause us to
looking bad.
Yep. So I learned how to play through them, and we went over to just the basics, and it was like, and defense was natural to me, and I was able to just figure the game out quick. And I just had my first shot, that baseline shot right there, corner. And he was like, don't shoot nothing else but that shot the whole game. If we get you the ball, you've been shooting from that corner real good. Just stay right there. And that's what I did. I just hitting from the corner. You wouldn't even know I had never played the game. That game when we played. If we blew them out, we blew out everybody we played. I'm like, man, y'all really don't lose. Like, no, dog, we run the courts here.
Listen, that's a big thing when you run the courts in your neighborhood. That's still going on until this day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Michigan, and my cousin is married to Draymond Green's father.
I know I didn't want to bring that up, but I did hear you say that you were related to Draymond. How do you feel about Golden State right now? Rebuilding or what next year? Oh, well, there's no basketball right now, but when they come back, will it be a better program?
Playoffs next year. They'll be in the thick of it next year. They'll be right back where they were before. When they got Steph, Clay, and Dre on the same team, it's like they have a rhythm of playing that other guys can't keep up with. And if they get anything like a bench like they had before, that's all they need. Like Steph is more of a Reggie Miller type player. He runs through picks. He's a catch and shoot guy.
Yeah,
you know, he likes to more than creating his own shot.
Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, catch and shoot.
Yeah, he likes to come over, run you through a few picks to get open, and all he needs a little bit of daylight, and he can hit these shots and rain them in. And they don't like to lose.
Yeah.
And seeing what was happening to their team, that was the results of keep going deep in the finals. They go into 5 straight finals. The whole team's breaking down, and they coming down and getting hurt. And Clay's hurt, KD's hurt. All that pushing, and you going far in the playoffs. That stuff wears on you, and it just tears you down, when you're playing basketball considerably over and over and over again. But they'll be in the thick. Because the Lakers got about maybe one more year after this, being like one of the dominant teams, and then they're trying to give LeBron that swan song championship so he can go off into his good night. So they try.
Has the NBA just whatever LeBron wants? Is that what it is at this point now? Like allegedly is like we're gonna. He's the star of the because I just looked on 2021 movies coming out. Space Jam 2 is coming out. So I wish they was never putting that out. But I just saw it.
Well, that's the thing, man. That's the thing with them. You dealing with a different type of energy with that crew. With that crew, they're dealing with just making money. When Space Jam was created, it was like actually the first of its kind. When Warner Brothers put that out, there was no real basketball movie like that with kids and animated cartoons, and it just was. They had Michael Jordan.
Besides the Hoosiers, that's not like the Hoosiers.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about animated cartoon.
Oh yeah, all right, you're right.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. So now you got, but they got Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is, and kids today watch Space Jam. Like it just came out yesterday. Like I'm like, they are so caught up in it. It is crazy how much they're caught up in it.
Yeah, sure.
They do anything in their power to like get there to watch it. Like we got to get there and watch it. So kids, they own it, and to have LeBron come in with no creativity, and this is the whole thing about his generation and what they see about. This is what's hot. I got to talk about it. That's how he is on Instagram. He never leads out and do anything. It's always, I follow someone else's blueprint. If everybody's trending on Twitter talking about this, let me get involved. Oh, this is what people are doing. Oh, let me get involved. Oh, Space Jam, Michael Jordan did that. Let me go ahead and do Space Jam 2. How uncreative is that? It's like, I would not want to sign myself to do it. And then he signed up to do a remake of House Party because House Party was one of his favorite movies coming up.
They better. If they let him touch House Party, I am coming on your YouTube live to go. He can have Space Jam. That's NBA stuff. That's NBA politics. If he, I'm not playing. If he touches any of these.
It's only gonna ruin. I'm like, dude. I look at the first
touch those,
crazy. And that's people don't really realize that Bernie only got that because Robin Harris was blowing up. Robin Harris had Martin Lawrence under his wing. He had a lot of things coming for him, right? And he was wanted in everything. They had a whole television series set up for him. He was gonna be the first comedian to have that because he crossed over, not only from just blacks.
I'm gonna send you the link. Right. Not to cut you off. I interviewed Robin Harris Jr.'s son. He's an R&B singer now.
Oh, okay.
I interviewed Robin Harris's son, and I'll say it's on my YouTube. It doesn't have mad views, but I'll send it to you, and I'll send you his Instagram too. His son does I think he was on Vlad TV like maybe 2 months ago. Like not like. you know, not like on no like whole hour, 2 hours. I don't know. Maybe they didn't use the footage. I don't know. I can't say, but like, yeah, I interviewed him. But I was reading. Martin was talking about it the other day about how Robin Harris was his inspiration, and Robin Harris put him on. So that's definitely.
Yeah, he did, because back in the day they had him coming up. Bernie was still trying to get in the game at that time. So Bernie Mac was just getting out there. And like New York, he was out there and they put him in the movie. He was in Mo Money. He played, he was a security guard. He was in there for like 3 seconds. And that was Bernie Mac's like introduction into that. But he was, I'm like, Robin Harris was ahead of his time when he went to HBO. When Robert Townsend saw him immediately, he put him in the movie.
What happened to,
like,
you said Robert Townsend?
You're gonna be a star.
What is the beef? Robert Townsend seems to have a beef with Azon. What's it? Faison? What do they call him? Like, where did, to the industry, where did Robert Townsend go wrong? Because I follow him on Twitter. I know Parenthood. I know those shows. I know Meat Eater Man. I know the Hollywood Shuffle. Why is he not, in your opinion, this is your opinion, why is he not held up in that high regard like everybody else, in your opinion?
Well, Robert opened the door for all these people, and he's not put up in the high regard because he was making too many positive images for Black people. And when you're doing that, that's not championed in today's society. And he fought against all of the things that they tried to condition, everybody else for. So they basically took away his, saying, oh, well, his movies, they didn't do any money. They didn't gross this. And so he went to television and had a very positive show called Parenthood. And right. And they disrespected him yet again. Tried to say the views weren't doing anything because he cared about the actual Black community. He grew up like basically around where I grew up at in Chicago. So here he's loved. I mean, like totally beloved. Robert Townsend has so many people that love him here. It's incredible. And then he went to California, did his thing, but it had a toll on him. He just basically stepped away and he did some production only from like from the background. Like, you know what? I'm just being in the background. I don't really feel like doing it today. And
I met Dick Gregory maybe 2 or 3 months before he passed away. He did a show in New York at BB King's. And maybe Robert, but this is what Dick Gregory told me. Forget being on stage, forget being on camera, be the writer. That's what Dick Gregory, it was a Dick Gregory, Paul Mooney show. Paul Mooney was an asshole to me. You know what Paul said? Do you know what the Paul Mooney said to me?
What he said?
I was with my younger brother. I'm 31 years old. So at this time I was like, it was like my 25th. No, was it my 20? I don't know. It was like a couple years ago, maybe 25th or 26th birthday, before Gregory had passed. And before Paul Mooney had got like this sick and he can't perform anymore. Paul Mooney, my brother's a big Paul Mooney fan. So I said, we were like, it was like a wraparound staircase, but like Paul Mooney was like on the other side. And we were like walking up the staircase. And I know my brother was a big Paul Mooney fan. And I said, yo, from Chappelle, my brother's younger than me, so he knows Chappelle's show. I said, yeah, there go Mooney right there. Just, ask if you get a flick real quick. Paul Mooney looks at my brother and says, why you listening to this nigga right here? And I know you don't curse, no offense to you. It was, you know what I'm saying? But he's like, why you listening to that nigga right there? My brother goes, oh, that's my older brother. Paul Mooney looked at me in my face, me and my brother. Oh, I bet he is. That nigga look old as dirt. And that was my passage. I said, I gotta do YouTube, I gotta do comedy, I gotta do something. I gotta do something. Right. I didn't get offended, but
so anyway, what happened though with you and your former employer? Like when you was doing the podcast, what happened there? Because you just one day you were there, one day you was gone.
You talking about the one when I was in New York, or you talking about the one I was doing the morning show? Which one?
The podcast with you know who.
You're not talking about Hot 97.
No,
I'm talking about the OG.
Not that. I'm talking about who you're working with.
Yeah, that's a conversation we'll have behind the scenes, bro. It's just it's kind of like what you said in the beginning. Like you really didn't know much about when you came into it with your copyright strikes. I really didn't know much. I kind of just like, you know, got referred to this person for somebody else, and they said that it would work. And in the long end, it's not that it's not a personal issue. It's just that it didn't work business wise, and I was starting to look like an idiot. You know, getting hands put on me, getting drunk, and doing stuff that I didn't really want to do, and just being portrayed in a bad light. And I had to sit back and say, you know what? Am I gonna be the pawn for somebody else to make money? Or am I gonna try to rebuild my stuff on my own? That's just the path I'm on. And it's no disrespect to nobody, but you know, like it was a good time. It was a good year and a half, 2 years. We had fun. You know, we made viral videos, some viral videos, but sometimes things don't work out, man. You know, like, you know, the bad boy Pistons, it was a little saga, you know what I'm saying? But
everybody go through struggles, you know.
Yeah. And that's all really. A lot of people look at, and I'm glad you asked me that, because I like it's good that an official person asked me that, where I could answer it instead of like a joker or a clown, and I give it, oh, look what he said. Like, nah, that's really what it was, bro. Like, I love everybody over there, bro. You know, certain people I have issues with, obviously, but not the top of the top, whoever is over there. But you know, it just didn't work out, bro. I'm from Long Island. I used to go to the city a lot to go out there, and I just didn't really see the benefits of me, you know, because between me and you, Star told me allegedly, he's like, yo, you got something, bro. He didn't say I was talented. He just said you got something. And when you're on a journey trying to find yourself, I started this. A lot of people don't know I got fired before I started a podcast. I was working at a storage company, and then 2 weeks later, I started doing the morning show because I was constantly sending my videos to someone. And then after that person went on their own journey, then I went up with somebody else. So it's not, I didn't go to school for this. I didn't this wasn't my plan. Like, yo, I'm going to get up on YouTube and do this or stream or radio, whatever. But that's what the cards I was dealt. That's the cards I was dealt, bro. And, you know, that's like you said in the beginning, you didn't really know you was recording everything. That's just it. I just didn't make the best business moves. I didn't make the best business moves. I got too intoxicated at times. I ran my mouth off a little bit too much, and you know, I learned my lesson. So now I want to build my own brand and build my own stuff the way I want to build it. Yeah, I'm a stoner, and I know you know that, but I want to be respected as I don't want to be respected as a stoner, just a dummy stoner. Like, that's why I had to make that decision. Like, yo, am I gonna be the punching bag, or am I gonna stand on my own too and try to make it happen? So that's to answer your question.
Right. And that's the thing, is that I hope people that's listening to this, they realize and say, you know, I'm gonna learn from this, because it's a lot of people that might be doing the same exact thing you was doing back then. Hopefully they can pick up and say, you know, like, let me learn from someone else's mistake. You know, I don't have to go and make the mistake myself.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of the stuff we do on, even in the hood stories or whatever we do, we always try to enlighten people. Like, look, these are the things that happened. You see where it went wrong. Don't become this person here. Don't go down this avenue. You know, take the right road. So if you see a story or scenario playing out just the way you heard it in this hood video, hood story, you know how to fall back.
Yeah,
deal with it and navigate out of it. You know, it might not be, you know, a lot of people.
One of my exes, I used to play your videos all the time, and she never liked you. But that's why she's an ex now, because she knew what you was telling me was stuff that she was doing, probably allegedly, that would like be putting me on to like games. So like, you know what I'm saying, bro? It's just a journey, bro. I went to school for business. I went to Nassau Community College 2 years, just like everybody else. Like, I didn't have no plan. I was a supervisor. I was a assistant manager somewhere, and I just happened to fall into the loop. I love, you know, I'm a history guy. I love history, so that's why I love your videos about hip hop history. And it just so happened that I ended up in this. So that's just all that it was, bro. And you roll with the punches, man. One day you're up, the next day you're down. But you know, you get up again. You know what I'm saying? That's all you could do.
Yeah, man. We got to do this again one day, man. You know, so I enjoyed this. This was great.
Cino, I'm glad you did, man. I know you didn't think I was ready to interview you, but I had the questions for you. But before I let you go, because we're 1:35 minutes, and I just want to say thank you You are the first interview. This is not going to be a Stone Emotion. This is going to be a Lanskys Corner interview with Karceno, or Lansky and Karceno chop it up. It's not going to be a Stone Emotion. I promised you that, and I told you, like, I'm trying to be serious, and I'm just honored to have you on here to get very busy. Appreciate no DR. Not talking about Dominican Republic. Y'all figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But love is love, man. I appreciate you. That's what. Before you go, I just want to ask you. We're gonna do the game. I have a couple people or names I'm gonna say, but any quick Rick James memory. You don't give me a story. I know your aunt used to do his hair. Any quick Rick James memory that you remember from when you was younger, or you never said on your channel before? The best story you told. The best
thing that I could think of with Rick that I probably didn't say. Gosh. Man, I mean, the time when he actually kicked a kid. I think
allegedly.
But I talked about that one already. I mean, he just shoved the kid with the foot. But I was just like shocked, but it wasn't no outrage of it. It wasn't like he booted the kid to the moon. He just shoved the kid down. He was sitting in the chair. That was wild. Rick. The thing about
studio. So I ain't got a studio. These are the promo. These are the promo videos. Say cheese. Say cheese. Okay.
Say cheese.
Yeah, man. Listen, we appreciate you, Sino.
Yeah.
We came up when I was in the parks, college. I was even podcasting, man. I've been listening to you. I appreciate you. I know you don't deal with all type of stoners and stuff like that, and I really, really do appreciate you, bro. Thank you. But before we go, I'm gonna say some names. I just want you to say the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't be shy. NBA YoungBoy.
Ignorant.
Okay. Isaiah Thomas.
Greatest.
I knew you was
gonna know which one you were talking about.
Say that. LeBron James.
Boom.
I knew you was gonna say that. But I expect this, but that's why I wrote them down. DJ Academics.
Poison.
Clout chasing.
Tragic.
Floyd Mayweather.
Best.
Is there anything you want to say? Cause I saw you a couple videos earlier with you talking about the NBA YoungBoy situation. Is there anything you want to say before you leave on that? You gave us the Nipsey story. You gave us the Rick James. You gave us the damn. I drank so many beers, I'm sorry. I tried to be so professional. I didn't smoke weed though.
No problem. But, we all good.
But listen, bro.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who's watched any video I've ever done. Whether you liked it or disliked it, thank you for your watch, your view. Some people have made comments and gave some advice on what we could do. And some people have donated to our Cash App, which is Karceno. I appreciated that. Showing people.
Could I ask you a question real quick before you leave?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is Gully TV trying to beef with you? Cause I see if you want to talk. Are you and Gully TV good?
Yeah, we're good. I mean, one time he went off on me one time, and that was because he assumed that somebody in the video told him I said something that I didn't do, and he saw his name in the video. Then he went and saw the video and he apologized because we definitely good. We have no problem.
Well, the only person you want to get in a ring with is Academics. Boxing gloves, if y'all could do that.
Yeah. If we definitely could do that, definitely. Because he's toxic. He's toxic for the whole culture.
We have like 15 minutes left. I know you about to get out. I know you just woke up from a nap and you about to go probably do some other videos. But is there a particular point where that started with y'all too, or like where you felt like maybe like something?
The thing is that he took a misunderstanding and blew it up. And instead of saying, well, let's try to figure out what happened, he felt like I'm academics. I'm the biggest thing out here. So if you're not on my level or up here, you know, I don't want to, you know, like he don't feel like he had to answer me, you know, and all that.
You was under him type of thing.
Right. And I'm like, dude, you have no idea how crazy that sounds. So I never even had a beef with him because he don't do what I do. I'm like, we don't do the same thing. People assume we do, but we really don't. And he's entirely different. And what he was doing, that war in Chirac, I'm like, I'm surprised he's breathing. So I'm like, man, I'm like, if he can never come.
Hold on, Cino, keep it real. Allegedly, him and his Deska, they stayed upstairs in the complex building when Nipsey was there. Allegedly, keep it real, my nigga. Karceno, keep it.
I mean, well, yeah, they did that because they had no, you know, Nadeska, she's not really from old. She don't know anything. She's complex type.
Yeah.
You know, she's the, you know, she's the girl with a sweatshirt, you know, type of MCs. You know, she deal with that type of rap more than mostly, you know, that crossover to skateboard rap and all that stuff. They deal with that. Complex has nobody in there that has any backbone of hip hop culture and lore.
They have no historian, basically. Allegedly, we have to say allegedly. Right. You know,
Joe was the closest, only thing they ever had when it came to that. None of the producers, the engineers, so anybody don't have that type of fallout or that type of, you know, that type of structure. If you come in there trying to do you and you expecting, you know, hip hop and everybody else to follow suit. You know, like, you know, from where your walk of life is, and you come into this environment, you're like, okay, I know what this is. You know, let me just do me. Get out of here. But I knew they don't have the proper etiquette of how to handle a situation that gets out of control. Anybody else could have been able to handle it. Like Nori was there. Nori from the streets. Nori could have handled that situation.
Mm-hmm.
They can't. They don't know what to do. They just freeze up and they're just running their room. You know, it's like they kids. They run in their room and just stay in their room. Just
make up.
Yeah, all right. So Nadeska, she don't do that. You're like, oh my God. Academics, that's all he knows. But yeah, he took one of my videos, or he took the video he did and put my title in there, like the truth behind, to throw a shot at me, and it was so stupid. And I'm like, dude, I'm the last person who want to do this.
Could you say exactly what the title was that you think, you know,
like the truth behind the Migos or the motorsport stuff?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So he did like a truth behind motorsport or something, and me and him end up going back and forth, and then how he stabbed Joe in the back for the job, and I knew what he did to stab Joe in the back for the job. And
allegedly, say allegedly, Cino. Say allegedly. You gotta say it. You gotta say it. I know what you mean.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Dude did it. But I was like, dude, come out and admit it. That you did what you did. Joe ain't gonna care one way or another, because that show ain't gonna last probably another season. So they got a bunch of shows on there, and what they don't talk about is they got like about 3-4 shows that they let academics and the Deska do, and none of it is making any waves whatsoever.
Forget them. Is Charlamagne leaving the Breakfast Club? What is the beat? This is an exclusive from Cino. In New York, I live in. There's been rumors that Charlamagne might be leaving the Breakfast Club. There might be a little jealousy. Have you heard anything on that, Cino? Allegedly, have you heard anything on that?
Well, they don't deal with each other. I mean, I told people that like months ago. They didn't want to believe me, but I said that in 2020 there's going to be some changes, and the contracts are coming up, and a revolt. They're trying to get the contract they want to stay together, and they want short terms. Like Angela Yee don't want to sign a long-term contract no more.
A 1 to 2 year, like NBA players are doing.
Right, she want a short contract so she can free up to do some other things. See, the only benefit that she has is that she was doing these real estate deals and partnering with DJ Envy. So she had a bunch of other things that got built up on the strength of Breakfast Club. So she has all these other little financial supporting things that's happening around her.
Allegedly, we don't know.
Allegedly, well, we do know, but yeah, she do. So she got a lot of like things working for her with endorsements and all her little lip service stuff. So she have other things besides the Breakfast Club. So that's why she wants something short term in case she can go into another deal where she could renegotiate right away. Now, Charlemagne, that's going to be the hardest thing to do because Charlemagne feels like on this re-up, there's no way I should be getting parity with Envy and Yee. I'm getting the mountain load of the money. I am the show. When I leave, there is no show. Now, what I don't know is that is DJ Envy's show. That's whose show it is. It's Envy's show.
Because he almost got fired back then, but then allegedly he almost got fired back then. The show was they were gonna toss the show allegedly until they figured it out. Allegedly, that's the rumor in the streets.
No, it became his show once it was Star Show.
Yeah, I know that. Facts. I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say that, but yeah, that's facts.
The whole thing with Envy basically got his job. So it became.
I'm not gonna let you go into it because we don't need to go into it. Just do your Google.
We ain't gonna go into that, but it became Envy's show after that. You know, once they got Envy there. So once this situation went down and then they brought them in, they still weren't making no traffic until the Ray J thing blew them up. And ever since then, people started to pay attention.
Wait,
and
is that what Ray J said he was going to get the booty goons, allegedly?
Yeah. Okay. And all that. And then they start warm with Hot 97. And Hot 97 helped create what they, because all the stuff was happening with Mr. C, and they started clowning Mr. C. And then they already just coming from Hot 97 came over there. The war with Flex and all of them, that just helped make them more relevant and put them on the spotlight and make them look like they were somebody's. And, besides that, they were like the underlings in Hot 97. Like, they didn't get like no balls. No nothing. So,
yeah, you dropped an hour and 45 minutes of wisdom on these people, man, and I appreciate you because you came on this channel. I know you don't usually do that, but I respected you. I didn't as chief. I took your interview. I drank a couple beers, but I respect you, bro. And listen, this is part 1. Hopefully, maybe another day we'll do part 2, part 3.
The next one we'll give you some way better stuff.
Yeah, and
way better stuff than this.
Before you go, any advice for my Knicks rebuild, or what do you see? What are the issues you see with my New York Knicks? I know it's Dolan. I know you're gonna say Dolan,
Dolan's doing the right thing a little bit. He's getting some GMs in there, something that the fans want them to do. It's not working. Why do you still got the same format together? You need to break that up and come back different. So what they did was actually take the GM, replace him, just give a whole new look to the Knicks and start building and changing the format. But there's so many young dudes that's in the league that's so impressionable to what social media say and what everybody say. So people are like, man, you don't want to play for the Knicks. And it's like, the Knicks got money like everybody else. They like one of the highest earning teams. Why wouldn't you want to play for the
Number
Knicks?
1 in the NBA, actually. We're number 1, actually. Yeah. We're a losing franchise, but we're number 1. That is true.
Exactly. So I'm like, why wouldn't you want to play for the Knicks? If you're coming from not playing at all and you want to go play with, like, man, I'm going to get on the same team. My boy over here, we're going to team up over there. Then, like LeBron, them doing, everybody want to do what somebody else is doing. That's the problem. No creativity no more. Right. We're doing it the wrong way. I'm like, the most videos I get attention for is the stuff I do. I just create it and just do it and go and something else.
Please.
Like I'm gonna be on TikTok doing this, shaking and jumping. I'm not finna do that video. If I'm on TikTok, I'm using superpowers. Yeah. I'm up there doing electricity.
I saw your flash joint
Right.
I'm not a TikTok dude myself, but I seen a couple of your joints, and my little brother, he be doing TikToks
Yeah,
too.
my godson, I do it because I get to connect with them.
Yeah.
So I don't get nothing for that. You know, I'm like, I don't promote it. I don't really do nothing. I let that go and be. But it's like, it's fun because I got this app on my phone. I'm like, I'm not an app guy at all, but it's good. It connects me to them. They get to see that. They post their little TikTok things and they do all the dances. I'm like, I don't have time to learn no dance. You ain't gonna see me learn.
Crazy, bro. I ain't gonna front all that dance. Like you be seeing a thing where they be doing like everybody in the line and
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I am not gonna do what everybody else is doing. That's just not
we out of the box, and that's how I linked up with you, and that's how I've been watching your shit. And no offense, I know you don't curse, but it's my channel, so don't blame me for the curse.
Not everybody's me.
Yeah. But bro, listen, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it, cause listen, I knew you was gonna be a tough interview, but you wasn't really that tough of an interview. I think we just just vibe type thing, just same eras, just different times. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, Cino. Listen, we didn't have that many people here right now, but this interview is going to go big. Trust me.
Thank you.
And we're gonna do part 3. And when I come to Chicago, all you brothers fall back. Casino, that's who I'm rolling with, man. I'm rolling with Cino, and that's it, man. And Cino, appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the Nipsey stories. Thank you for your story. About a lot of people didn't know you wrote poetry. They'll see that in this interview now.
Yeah, a lot of them didn't. They be writing for me. I'll be like,
but listen,
I tweeted.
You're a great storyteller, bro, and that's why you are where you are. And keep on going, bro. Love is love. That's what we say in New York. No homo. Love is love. You know what I'm saying? And I'm honored. You are the first interview for Lanskys Corner. This isn't Stone in Motion. No, we wasn't smoking. This is Lanskys Corner, chopping it with Karceno. Well overdue. Appreciate you, brother. Now I just hit end broadcast, and I'm good.
Okay.
Cino, later, my G. Later, brother.
All right.
End broadcast.